కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో కూడా ఇంటర్ మార్క్స్ వెయిటేజ్ గా తీసుకుంటున్న నేపథ్యంలో ఇంటర్ విద్యార్థులు ఇంగ్లీష్ లో ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి, ఏ టాపిక్స్ ని ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి, అలాగే రివిజన్ ఎలా చేసుకోవాలి తదితర అంశాలపై సలహాలు సూచనలు అందించడానికి మనతో ఉన్నారు సీనియర్ అధ్యాపకులు డాక్టర్ సుధా గారు. మరి మీరు సంప్రదించాల్సిన ఫోన్ నంబర్స్ 7702344003, 7702344005. గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ మేడం.
Good evening.
వెల్కమ్ టు గైడ్. సో యాక్చువల్గా ఇంటర్ మార్క్స్ని కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్లో కూడా అంటే వెయిటేజ్ కూడా చూస్తున్నారు అంటున్నారు కదా, అంటే ఏ విధంగా వెయిటేజ్ అనేది తీసుకుంటున్నారో తెలియజేస్తారా?
Inter examination, whatever the marks, aggregate, including English, they take a weightage of 40% for IIT JEE.
Okay.
So it is very important the way you prepare for the exam. Preparation and the way you present, that's what is the examination. How much time you have spent each day and how you have presented the paper is really important to get a high score in English, both first year and second year.
ఓకే, మరి ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ అండ్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నాం కాబట్టి ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళకి సెకండ్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళకి ఏమైనా చేంజ్ ఉంటుందా సిలబస్లో, అంటే ఎగ్జామ్ ప్యాటర్న్లో, లేదంటే కనుక సేమ్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నారా?
First year most of it is grammar and it is objective grammar. Where you will be having types of objective questions where you will be getting fill up the blanks kani, matching kani, where the answer is already there, you need to tick mark the right answer, or outright they will be asking a blank.
Okay.
But when it comes to second year, it will be all subjective grammar and the subjective grammar has to be written in a particular pattern. Like if you're talking of letter writing or the CV, the curriculum vitae, it has to be in a particular format.
Okay.
You even have dialogue writing in the second year.
ఓకే, మరి ఇప్పుడు సిలబస్ దగ్గరికి వస్తే కనుక ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో అంటే సిలబస్లో ఏ టాపిక్స్ మీద ఎక్కువగా కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుందంటారు?
Syllabus would be to focus on the first 4 chapters of the prose and first 3 poetry and non-detail also first 4. Of course, the remnant they should be having an idea, but if they are well prepared, very well prepared, I mean to say, very well prepared with the, I recommend the same for the second year also.
Okay.
Second year also the prose will be the first 4 lessons and the poetry has to be the first 3 and the character sketches. We have a running novel. We have around 10 chapters in that non-detail of the second year. So they should be having an idea of the character sketches like Napoleon, Snowball, Squealer, the turning points in Animal Farm, the plots of the Animal Farm. They should be having an idea. And thorough preparation, like you have good enough time now. The examinations are beginning on 12th is the second language and 14th you are having English for the first years and 15th you are having English for the second years. You do have good enough time, if you are reading each of the chapter every day, a part of it, it will really work.
ఓకే, సో వెన్ యూ టేక్ దిస్ ఎంటైర్ సిలబస్ అంటే దీన్ని ఎన్ని సెక్షన్స్ కింద డివైడ్ చేశారని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు, ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ కానీ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ కానీ?
A very good question. Both first year and second year, it is section A, B and C.
Okay.
Section A is going to be the question answers, the annotations, the presentation of which is extremely important. You should be preparing the answer in such a way you are able to recall the points and you are able to write it in a very short span. Answers should be written too quickly in order to complete, because you are given 3 hours and you have way too many questions. You have to answer almost 9, 4 annotations both first year second year, 4 paragraph questions and 1 long answer from the non-detail both first year and second year. 9 in all. So when you are answering these, you should be writing fast, and if you are waiting for the point to come to you, if you are recalling the point and then writing, you will take a lot of time. There will be wastage of time. Instead, if you are writing the answer at a greater speed, then you are able to complete all the 9. It is, the presentation would be neat, definitely you would be getting a good score.
Okay. So callers ready ga unnaru. Let's take our first caller.
Yes, sure.
Hello.
హలో
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి, వెల్కమ్ టు గైడ్. మీ పేరు చెప్పండి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు? హలో.
హలో దిల్సుఖాని.
ముందుగా మీ టీవీ వాల్యూమ్ మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మాట్లాడండి. మీ పేరు మరి ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారో మరొకసారి క్లియర్ గా చెప్పండి. శివసాయి దిల్సుఖ్ నగర్ నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా, సెకండ్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా, ఏం అడగాలనుకుంటున్నారు ఈ రోజు గైడ్ లో? ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారు. ఓకే, మీ డౌట్ ఏంటో అడగండి, సుధా గారు మీ డౌట్ ని క్లారిఫై చేస్తారు.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు యానిటేషన్ రాసేటప్పుడు పాయింట్ వైజ్ రాయాలా లేకపోతే మొత్తం ఓవరాల్ అంటే మొత్తం
ఓకే, యానిటేషన్స్ రాసేటప్పుడు పాయింట్ వైజ్ రాయాలా లేదంటే పారాగ్రాఫ్ లాగా కంప్లీట్ గా ఒకటేసారి రాయాలా?
Yeah, that's a good question. It has to be in the form of a paragraph. You need to introduce the writer. If it's a lesson, you're supposed to introduce the writer or the author. You're supposed to introduce the lesson, and then you should give a brief gist of whatever the question is being asked, whatever the annotated lines are there, you have to give a gist of it, and then you have to give the critical appreciation to it. It has to be in 4 paragraphs. If there is any possibility, you may add a quotation which is relevant to that annotation. It would fetch you better marks. Okay. Do not do it point wise, do it in the form of a paragraph. After every paragraph, try to leave a line. Another important thing is you have only 24 pages to answer the examination with 24 lines in each of the page. So you should finish all the answers within the 24 pages. So it is really important how you manage the time and how you manage the space.
Okay.
And that's why it becomes really important. The way you're going to prepare, the way you're going to present is extremely important, and that's going to decide how much the score would be.
Okay, sure.
Definitely for a high score, you need to prepare each bit and piece from the textbook as per the model paper. You're supposed to prepare the allotted sheets from the workbook. We do have a workbook which is being given by the Board of Intermediate Education. You have to check the textbook, the allotted page numbers. Definitely the score would be really high, and now it's really a good time to sit with language which was neglected for a long time.
Okay, we have another caller waiting.
Yes,
Let's
sure.
take the call. Hello.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి, మీ పేరు చెప్పండి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు?
Ma'am, actually I have 2 doubts, ma'am. First doubt is in how many lines should be present each question and answer and annotation, and how many quotations must we write for each question and answer as well as annotation. And my second doubt is I'm actually doing inter second year. So in inter second year we have subjective grammar like letter and stuff. So I mean, how should we present it such that we score maximum marks? And will we get all the letters and other grammar points only from the workbook, or should we refer the textbook as well?
Sure. Too many questions actually.
Yeah, too many, but quite useful. Let me answer the first part. You were talking about the length of the answer, and I would recommend the length of answer be at least in 4 paragraphs, the quotation being 2 to 3 lines. Each of the paragraph should necessarily have 4 to 5 points. So that would come up to half pin paper. Each of the answer would come up to half pin paper or page numbers 1 and 2. That is 2 facing pages can be the answer. You may write more than 1 quotation also, but if you are very confident, go with it. If you are not confident, whatever you are confident, at least you do that. That one particular quotation, whatever is suitable to the situation, to the context.
Okay.
That was the first question. The next question, I recommend everybody, each and every student, whosoever is listening to the program, I would recommend everybody to follow the blogged format, fully blogged format for the letter writing, which is available in the textbook. You do have a pattern. and you have questions after the pattern being discussed. And for curriculum vitae also, you have questions from the textbook, you have questions from the workbook. You need to have an idea for both, and the formats for both are clearly mentioned in the textbook. You have to have an idea of it, and be sure to begin the letter on a new page, so that it gives a clear idea to the examiner that you have done it in the proper format. And the curriculum vitae also, you should never reveal your true identity, neither your name or your college or your residential address. Definitely you have to start it on a new page if there is any possibility for you to go ahead with the same idea. And you have to end it with the signature, the right side, place and date the left side, and also the acknowledgement line, after you have done the curriculum vitae. And be sure the curriculum vitae should have all the side headings required. There are around 14 side headings. It's all there in the textbook and workbook. You can follow that.
Okay. And regarding the letter writings also, they need to follow all the...
You need to follow the modern, the blocked, fully blocked format, where everything begins from the margin, the left side, and there is absolutely no indentation and no punctuation.
Okay.
You have to be very careful, and each of the paragraph, please remember to leave a line, definitely leave a line, and that implies that you are done with one paragraph and you have gone to the next.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sure. Maro call తీసుకుందాము.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening అండి. ముందుగా మీ పేరు చెప్పండి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు?
పద్మజ
ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు? ఓకే, కాలింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ హైదరాబాద్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా, సెకండ్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా?
సెకండ్ ఇయర్ అండి.
ఓకే, టీవీ వాల్యూమ్ మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మీ డౌట్ ఏంటో అడగండి. పద్మజ, మీ క్వశ్చన్ రిపీట్ చేయండి. ముందుగా టీవీ వాల్యూమ్ మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మీ క్వశ్చన్ రిపీట్ చేయండి. హలో, టీవీ వాల్యూమ్ మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మీ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటో మరొకసారి అడగండి.
Actually, how to score more marks in paragraph questions, ma'am?
Paragraph questions?
How to score good in paragraph questions?
Yeah, that's a nice question. Paragraph questions also, you need to give a briefing about the author, about the poet. Then you need to introduce the lesson or the poet, and then give the answer for the question which is being asked. Each of the poetry does have paragraph questions soon after the poem. Okay. You need to have an idea of that, and then you may end it with a quotation. Maybe you can use the same quotation that you have used for the annotation, but if you are able to supply with a different quotation, that should be well. But you should definitely give an introduction to the writer, to the poet. You need to give a briefing of the lesson and the poem, and then proceed with the answer.
Sure. సో ఇందాక మీరు టైం మేనేజ్మెంట్ అండ్ స్పేస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అన్నారు కదా.
ఎస్.
సో అది ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళు ఎలా యూజ్ చేసుకోవాలి, అండ్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళకి దాని కోసం మంచి టిప్స్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే తెలియజేస్తారా?
Time and space both are extremely important as regards to intermediate examination, especially the first year and the second year. I always tell the students who run short of time and they are not able to answer all the questions in spite of knowing them. That is really traumatic. So what I recommend the students in general, everybody, to start writing with the annotations, the paragraph questions, the long answer, then switch to grammar.
Okay.
And while answering the grammar, it would save lots of time if you are directly writing the Roman number with the bit number and the answer straight away. Okay. Very precise, concise answers. I am talking to the first year students as well as the second year students. Both students, it is a very valuable suggestion that I would give is answer to the point, precise answers. ఇప్పుడు సెకండ్ ఇయర్కి వస్తే బిట్ నెంబర్ 6, 7, 8 and 9. These are all comprehension passage bits.
Okay.
Bit number 8 is advertisement, bit number 9 is table. You need to just see and write precise, concise answers. That will be saving time, that will be saving space also. And you know, it will enhance your score tremendously. Then coming to the section C of your first year, it is from bit number 8 till bit number 20.
Okay.
And each of this bit, if you are putting appropriate Roman number with the question number and the allotted answer, it is just more than enough. Be sure you are writing the correct Roman number and the bit number. It would help you a lot. Bit number 11 and 12, I am talking of the first years, that you need to give a complete sentence. Remaining are all a word or a phrase. That's more than enough, and that would give you really a high score. And be really careful of the punctuation that you are doing, especially bit number 20.
Okay.
When it comes to second year, you need to be really careful with the format that you are going to use for writing a letter. Students normally mix up all the formats which are given in the textbook and they make a blunder out of it. So what I would suggest is stick to one format, fully blocked format, and you are going to follow that format. You may practice the letters which are there, there are certain model papers which are there in the workbook, after the workbook, the end of the workbook, the end of the textbook. You may even take the previous year's papers, if you download from certain websites, you will get previous year's papers. Solve all that, that will help you. And there is a particular format for the curriculum vitae, for the note making, and for the dialogue writing, and for the procedure.
Sure.
That would help the candidate. When you sit and prepare for the examination, go by doing as per the model paper. Whatever model paper, whatever questions are there from Roman number 1 to 5 is all question answers. From 6 through 17 for second years is grammar, 6 through 20 for the first years is grammar. You need to do likewise.
Okay. So do you think is there any change in the last year examination pattern and this year examination pattern?
No, there isn't any change. Absolutely, it's the same. But when compared to 2 or 3 years back, the question which was asked in bit number 11, I think the third bit. Yeah, I'm confident of it. Third bit. Earlier they used to ask it as convert it into a simple or complex or compound sentence. Now they are asking it as do it as per the structure.
Sure.
So that is the change. There is as such the pattern and all is same.
Okay. We have more callers waiting. Let's
Yeah,
take
sure.
another call. Hello.
Hello.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి. టీవీ వాల్యూమ్ తగ్గించుకొని మీ పేరు చెప్పండి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు?
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి. టీవీ వాల్యూమ్ మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని చెప్పండి, మీ పేరేంటి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు?
నా పేరు అక్షిత అండి, నేను హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి ఫోన్ చేస్తున్నాను.
ఓకే, ఏం తెలుసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నారంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా, సెకండ్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా?
మ్యామ్ నేను సెకండ్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నాను. నాకు యాక్చువల్లీ లెటర్ రైటింగ్ కరిక్యులం విటే ఈ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ గ్రామర్ పాయింట్స్ అన్నిటికీ మీరు ఏమన్నా కాలేజ్ మెటీరియల్ కానీ లేకపోతే గైడ్ కానీ సజెస్ట్ చేయగలరా? స్టాండర్డ్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఉండి మంచి మార్క్స్ వచ్చాయి.
ఓకే, ష్యూర్.
I do not recommend any guide or such stuff. The textbook and the workbook in themselves, they are done with everything. Every bit and piece is being mentioned. Only thing is you need to check the different models, formats which are given. Once you have seen them, whatever pattern you are convenient with, whatever format you are convenient with, you can go about doing. And I recommend doing the curriculum vitae in the form of a table. You are giving all your site titles one side and all the info the other side, and that would work. Make a column, make 3 columns, put serial number, put the site titles as well as the info, and one below the other, the 14 side headings. That would work.
Sure. మరో కాల్ తీసుకుందాము. హలో. హలో.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ మేడం.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి. కొంచెం పెద్దగా మాట్లాడండి, మీ పేరు చెప్పండి, ఎక్కడి నుంచి కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు?
నా పేరు హరిత, నేను కొవ్వూరు నుంచి ఫోన్ చేస్తున్నాను.
ఓకే హరిత, ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా, సెకండ్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నారా?
ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుతున్నాను.
ఓకే, ఏం అడగాలనుకుంటున్నారు ఈరోజు?
నాకు గ్రామర్లో ఎక్కువ మిస్టేక్స్ వస్తున్నాయి, దాంట్లోనే మార్క్స్ లూజ్ అవుతున్నాను నేను.
ఓకే,
అవి కొంచెం కవర్ అవ్వాలంటే ఏం చేయాలని అడుగుదామని చేశాను మేడంని.
తప్పకుండా.
Grammar is it regarding the verbs or the structures, or grammar in general?
హలో హరిత.
చెప్పండి.
ఓకే, నేను అడుగుతున్నారు గ్రామర్ జనరల్ గా గ్రామర్లోనా లేకపోతే ఏంటి ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా పర్టిక్యులర్ గా ఏం తెలుసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నావు?
టెన్సెస్ లో ఎక్కువగా పోతుంది నాకు.
Yeah, I expected. That is the area where the students are I don't say that they are weak, I have to say they are not that strong, because they do not focus on the suitable form of the verb. What I would suggest is, you would be having the clue for that particular verbs within the sentence. But for example, if it's a general truth ankondi, the verb has to be in its first form. For example, the most often asked sentence would be something like this: the sun rises in the east. Rise is given in the bracket and you're supposed to put rises, because it's a general fact. Or you may get a blank with now. It dash now, and it's going to be the present continuous tense because it's raining now, and there would be rain in the bracket. So Haritha, what I would suggest you, you please look for the clues within the sentence. Suppose if it's yesterday, it has to be past and it's not the past perfect. Usually students land up making it had plus the PP form, the V3 form, instead of simply V2 form. You should be having he went, and they'll end up telling he had gone. That's a very general, very common error. In spite of correcting it, they often do it, very often do it. And you will be having clues like for or since, where it's going to be present perfect continuous, and you will be having something like before, where you have two activities registered in the past. One would be the simple past and the other would be had plus V3. You will have when or while, and then it would be two activities registered in the past. One is continuous and the other one would be V2. It's almost like taking a class now. You do have if clauses, where you have the three patterns there. Everything is there in the textbook. You only need to look at, page wise, and there are clues. Even in the examination question paper, you have n number of clues. Only thing is you have to identify the clue. And if it's tomorrow, it's going to be will plus the first form.
Sure.
So all the sentences, whatever the blanks you have, the sentence, the question does have an answer. You should know how to approach it.
Identify
it. That's it, and more practice would help you. From bit number 6 till 20 for the first years, from bit number 6 to 20, you practice doing such papers, some 8 to 10 papers. If you have worked out, I think it would work well.
Sure. అంటే 10th వరకు ఎవరైతే ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం నుంచి వస్తారో, అండ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ అ సడన్ ఇంటర్కి వచ్చిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి అంత కష్టంగా అనిపించదు. బట్ హూ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ తెలుగు మీడియం బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, వాళ్ళకి అలాంటి వాళ్ళకి మంచి మార్క్స్ స్కోర్ చేయాలంటే కనుక ఏ విధమైన టిప్స్ ఇస్తారు?
Nice question. For the Telugu medium candidates, first of all, what I would suggest is, they have an innate fear that, they are doing English exam, foreign language. I recommend all the Telugu medium students to first remove that fear. A fear ni complete ga tolaginchandi. That's the first thing. The next thing would be each of the chapter, as I recommended. Prose lo you have 4 lessons, poetry you have first 3 poems, and prose I told you first 4 lessons. Annintilono first annotations are extremely important. Let them sit and practice them. First, all the first annotations, whether it's prose or poetry, let them practice. That itself will give them, something like out of 40 marks, they can confidently score 20-25 in that. Grammar is for 60 marks. Bit number 6 and 7 is unseen comprehension. Now that unseen comprehension, you will have questions from the textbook, you will have questions from the workbook. Textbook, I think it's in page number 310. And workbook, after every chapter you do have an extract followed by questions. Avi jagrattaga chuskunte you will get another 10 marks. Bit number 8 nunchi chuskunte questions will come from workbook. Konni allotted page numbers unnavi, as per the format, as per the model paper. Okasari jagrattaga anni bits vallu chuskunte ganaka, that will help. That will really help, and you should avoid mistakes, chinna mistakes where you are applying has or have instead of had. Ledu, you are applying was or were in place of is or was. You should be avoiding that. And please remember to start the question tag with lowercase letter. Usual mistake is they start it with uppercase letter. Make it with lowercase. You should have an apostrophe. didn't they undankondi, didn't they should have an apostrophe, there should be a question mark after that, things like that, very tiny things which you overlook. You shouldn't be overlooking them. If you haven't overlooked and if you have prepared koncham jagrataga, koncham careful ga, if you have prepared, I guess even any Telugu medium candidate, without any hesitation can really score a good score, appreciably good score.
Okay.
Maybe even 90.
Okay. And as you said, అంటే ఈ questions and paragraph questions ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో annotations and all, they carry only 40 marks and గ్రామర్కి వచ్చేసి 60 marks. So somebody who is very confident గ్రామర్ గురించి అయితే కనుక can they directly start with the grammar?
I normally do not advise the candidate to do the grammar part first. ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇనీషియలీ వెన్ యూ స్టార్ట్ ది ఎగ్జామ్, ద ఎగ్జామినేషన్ టైమింగ్ ఇస్ ఫ్రమ్ 9 to 12. 9 o'clock, వాట్ ఎవర్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఆర్ ద ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ at 9 will not be same at 10 or at 11. So when you're really, you're confident of the grammar, I do not deny, but if you're very confident that you can finish it in 1 hour, but what happens is you get stuck at some point and you just keep thinking and rethinking and time goes in that. Normally any student, what I recommend, what I advise them is not to read the whole of the paper at a stretch. I never advise. You do bit by bit, whatever bit you're doing, you have a look at it, you have a second look at it, doesn't matter. You're not able to answer, stop thinking of that, leave it at that point, make an indication in the question paper that you have left that bit, or maybe you're going to leave little space in the answer sheet, get back to it. But if you're continuously thinking of the same, it would be having an impact, a negative impact on remaining part, which is it would be really fatalistic. I do not recommend actually. So as you said, if they are very confident, if they have the confidence that they finish it in 1 hour, maybe it's fine. Otherwise the best, the best of the best would be to start with A. I recommend to start with A, and B and C, you're confident, you have prepared well, you can finish it in no time.
Sure.
No time.
మరి ఎక్కువ టైం లేదు కాబట్టి ఈ తక్కువ టైంలో రివిజన్ కోసం క్విక్గా ఏమైనా టిప్స్ ఇవ్వగలుగుతారా?
The first thing that I would advise both the first year and the second year, you have another 15 days, something like 15 days to go. What I would recommend each and every candidate would be to revise one particular aspect, one particular bit from the model paper per day. Say around you're giving something like a half hour or maybe 1 hour, 45 minutes. Complete that bit that day. Suppose you have taken Roman number 6, finish that bit that day, whether it's first year, whether it's second year. All the unseen comprehensions you should be done that day. Wherever there is a doubt, you need to have a second look at it, just indicate, mark it, and then maybe you can get back.
Sure.
By and by, you can finish revising all the grammar in around week, less than 10 days you can finish off the entire grammar, that too confidently, and you're doing it with there's lots of clarity, you're very confident of it, a strong revision you have done, and you need not look to it once again, there's no need. After you're done with the entire grammar aspects, you can take up the prose poetry non-detail. You need not do it all at a time. You take up a chapter, maybe if you're taking up the first years, the prose chapter, the first chapter, lateral thinking, if you're looking up at it, take up the annotations and paragraph questions from that chapter that day. And it's done, finished.
Okay.
If you're taking up the second year, maybe the annotations, the paragraph questions from that particular chapter, you may begin with prose. I recommend, because the question paper begins with prose. That's ideal.
Thank you, Siddha garu, for giving us your valuable time and giving good guidance to almost so many students who are preparing for the inter-final exams. Thank you so much. మరి చూసారు కదండి, మీకు కూడా ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అండ్ కెరీర్ పరంగా ఏ విధమైన సందేహాలు ఉన్నా కూడా ఈమెయిల్ ద్వారా మాకు రాసి పంపించి ఎక్స్పర్ట్ సలహాలను పొందవచ్చు. ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని యూట్యూబ్లో కూడా వీక్షించవచ్చు. ఇది ఈనాటి గైడ్ కార్యక్రమం. రేపటి కార్యక్రమంలో మళ్ళీ కలుద్దాం. అంతవరకు సెలవు. నమస్తే.